I forgot to close my tabs with porn on them and my little sister found out. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some recent r/today I fucked up stories posted on Reddit. I forgot to close my tabs with porn on them and my little sister found out. So usually after school time is over with, my little sister comes in my room and plays on my computer for an hour or so. She usually plays Roblox or some little girly games. Me, being the most forgetful person in the world, forgot that I had left my computer on sleep mode last night after watching some porn. So when my little sister woke my computer up and put on my password, she got exposed to some not so nice things. While this was happening, I was down the hall playing Among Us on my phone. So I go to my room to check up on her, and there she was, just staring at it. Bro, when I tell you I got so embarrassed my whole face felt like it was burning. I didn't want to scare her or anything, so I simply clicked out of the site and told her to wait outside of my room real quick. I went full on beast mode, trying as quickly as possible to delete everything from my history. Mind you, my little sister is 11 years old. So most likely I probably traumatized her. Fast forward to lunchtime, I was fixing her a sandwich and she suddenly asked me, "Why were those girls naked on the screen in your room?" I couldn't think of any excuses, so I just told her that they were filming an erotic movie that was meant for adults. I thought since she is only 11 that she didn't know what the word erotic meant. Then she laughed about it and asked me why I was watching it. I just said I don't know and left the room. Bro, I was so terrified, like WTF is wrong with me, I should have been more careful. Let's just hope she forgets about in the next day or two and that she won't tell me mom what happened, because that would be bad. And now I think every time she uses my computer she going to expect something to be up there. Why the fuck am I so dumb? Today I fucked up by acting tough when I should have went to the hospital. The last few weeks I've been dealing with petit mal seizures, which are basically just short seizures that normally just make you twitch and that's it. Sometimes you might feel like you lost some time or whatever, but for the most part they're manageable. I've had them for years. After high school I had a problem with Valium, and while coming off of it, the withdrawals made me have a grand mal seizure in the middle of the street. I was saying bye to an old friend of mine, and the next thing I know I'm waking up in the street with my grandpa's tears hitting me in the face while he said "Please be okay" over and over. The fall broke my nose, 3 teeth, gave me 2 stitches in my lip, and a 8-year addiction to Klonopin to keep them under control. Fast forward 8 years. That same grandpa passed away, and when he did I decided to try and sober up, which meant giving up painkillers and those Klonopins. The withdrawals were an absolute nightmare, and they ended up causing seizures and putting me in the hospital. At the time, I didn't have insurance, which meant I couldn't afford the $300 a month medication they wanted to give me, so I had to deal with another couple days on my own. Somehow when it was over, I didn't have them anymore. Occasionally if I was super stressed or been up way too long I'd twitch once or twice, but nothing major. Hell. Yes. A few weeks ago they started back up. They were only the petit mals again, and only a couple a day, which were usually minor. But as I was waking up this morning with my wife and two daughters, I had a few. By the time we had the girls out of bed and breakfast on the table, I was up to maybe 20 of them. By this time my wife notices and tells me profusely to go to the hospital. Why? They won't do anything. I don't say this much, but she was right and I should have listened. The next little one somehow sent me from a standing position to falling back onto a wooden storage chest in our bedroom. I hit my kidney area so hard that I couldn't get a word out and started to cry right there on the floor, the whole time hoping I could figure out a way to yell for my wife. Luckily she heard me and ran in. That girl has the upper body strength of a fruit fly most days, but she scooped me up like I didn't weigh a thing, and just as she put me on the bed, a grand mal hit so hard that I didn't even know it happened until I was released from the hospital and gave me a recap of everything. Foaming at the mouth, jerking violently, and straight to the hospital. The nurse I had was an absolutely incredible person and the best one I've ever seen. When it was all said and done they wanted to put me on the Klonopins again. I was upset, but had no choice, but as I was leaving, that same nurse had a chat with the doctor and somehow changed his mind, convincing him to give me something called Keppra instead. It isn't an addictive benzo like Klonopin. Now I'm back at home with my wife and 2 toddlers, sore as hell but seizure-free. I could have saved myself a lot of pain if I just listened and went when she said to. Today I fucked up by deleting an essay on the bar exam. The California bar exam took place the past 2 days, after months of uncertainty and even more months of studying, and having to work to pay for food and rent while studying, dealing with a pandemic, protests, sick/dying family, etc. It was a remote exam, and we had to have our laptop video cameras on so that they could monitor us to prevent cheating. All the parts were broken up to give time for bathroom, water, and lunch breaks. Anyway, I was doing one of the essay portions of the exam and was feeling pretty good about this particular essay. It was on property, which is not my strongest topic. We only had an hour for each essay, and for this one I made a pretty good outline, had good notes, and had a great flow. I was probably 75% through, with 20 minutes left, when I realized I forgot a couple of elements to a particular law which I needed to write about in that section. I knew I had written it down in part of the outline I had deleted. So, I selected all the text, hit Ctrl+C to copy it, and used the undo button to get back to where I had listed all of the elements. I found the list towards when I had just finished outlining and first started writing, maybe 20% complete. I wrote them down in my notes, then I selected all of the text again with the intention of hitting Ctrl+V to paste the 75% of the essay I had finished on top of what was there. However, for unknown reasons, my fingers decided to hit Ctrl+C over the old text, instead of pasting what I had written over the first 40 minutes of the exam. The software we were required to use didn't have an internal clipboard, so there was no finding it that way. Try as I might, the undo and redo functions wouldn't take me back to where I'd basically finished the essay. I saw that I only had a paltry 14 minutes remaining. Hurled profanity at the camera more times than I've ever uttered in one 30 seconds period, and had to furiously start typing the essay again, basically from scratch. It's only the most important exam of my life and determines my future in the practice of law. Today I fucked up by opening a package I assumed was for me. I came home and noticed a small package on my doorstep addressed to a name similar to my first name, that I often get called by mistake, and my correct last name. Last name is a little unusual, it was kind of weird, but I figured that they just made a mistake on the label. No big deal, right? I opened the package because I couldn't remember what I had ordered. Well, this is where I fucked up. Inside the package was a private adult toy. I did not remember ordering one. I asked my husband if he had ordered me a gift, he denied it. I was annoyed because I could not remember placing an order for this. I had a moment of panic that maybe I somehow forgot I ordered it or my credit card got hacked. Well, then we hear the doorbell ring. I'm busy searching my Amazon history trying to figure out when I had ordered it. My husband comes back, stifling laughter, and tells me I need to bring the package to the door. I start to argue with him, when I look at the packaging and the last number of the address is off. The realization slowly comes over me when I realize that this was not for me. It was for whoever was at the door. I bring it to the door and the kind neighbor lady explains that she saw the name and assumed it somehow got delivered to her house instead of mine, so she dropped it off on our step. However, her daughter-in-law, who lives with her, asked neighbor lady if she had seen a package because her sister had asked to have it delivered to their house and she was expecting it. The Dill sister's name is the one that was similar enough to mine that I completely ignored any common sense that this was not something I had ordered. I gave it to her, suggested that it was a private item and she should probably not open the quickly taped together wrapping, and apologized profusely. I will be avoiding neighborly hellos and only quickly running to my car outside for the foreseeable future. My husband is still giggling like a schoolgirl. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.